the World Health Organization, has been warning for decades how important it is that road safety is truly acknowledged and that we do commit to changing what we have been seeing for decades now. The WHO has said since the very first decade of road safety that it is no accident, but the result of determined political leadership and commitment. And that's why we have made commitment the theme of this conference. Joining us now, virtually, is the Director General of the WHO, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. The floor is yours. We are very glad that you could join us, Tedros.
Prince Abdulaziz bin Saud bin Naif Al Saud, Minister of the Interior, Honorable Minister Abdulsamad Kayu, UN Special Envoy Jean Todt, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear colleagues and friends. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. I'm honored that so many have joined us today, and I thank the Kingdom of Morocco for hosting this very important conference. I'm very sorry I can't be with you in person, although I tried my best to. I commend His Majesty the King for initiating the Mohammed VI International Prize for Road Safety. WHO is honored to be the first recipient of this prize. Nearly 1.2 million people lose their lives on the world's roads every year. They set out on a journey like all of us do every day, to work, to school, to go shopping, to see a friend, or to go on holiday. And that journey becomes their last. Road traffic crashes are the leading killer of children and young people. This tragedy is compounded by the fact that most of these are preventable deaths. We know that change is possible. The decade of action has shown that countries, no matter their size or economy, can implement policies to prevent traffic collisions and save lives. Over the past decade, 10 countries reduced the number of traffic deaths by at least half. Belarus, Brunei Darussalam, Denmark, Japan, Lithuania, Norway, the Russian Federation, Trinidad and Tobago, the United Arab Emirates, and Venezuela. And 35 more countries reduced deaths by over 30%. In recent years, China and India both strengthened the safety standards for vehicles manufactured and sold in their markets. Mexico adopted landmark legislation guaranteeing equitable access to safe and healthy mobility. And the United Arab Emirates and Vietnam invested heavily in public transport. Cities such as Bogota, Kigali, and Paris have redesigned urban infrastructure to prioritize the safety of pedestrians and cyclists. These are just a few examples. I commend all of you who have worked and are working so hard for these results. You have demonstrated that we can make safer roads a reality. But we are not there yet. Far more needs to be done to meet the Sustainable Development Targets by halving road traffic deaths globally by 2030. And despite progress in some countries, much of the world is heading the wrong way. In the past decade, road traffic deaths in Africa increased by 17%. This is because in Africa and elsewhere, many countries are expanding transport systems designed for cars, not people. A safe systems approach to mobility puts people and safety first, with a focus on mass transit and other forms of efficient and sustainable transport. It prioritizes the safety of pedestrians, cyclists, and other vulnerable road users who account for more than half of all deaths. Safe and sustainable transport systems have multiple other benefits. They can help to reduce the burden of cancer, cardiovascular and respiratory diseases, boost access to jobs and education, and help fight climate change. We know what works, and we must step up action to match the scale of the crisis. The Global Plan for the Decade of Action for Road Safety 2021-2030 charts the way forward. We all have a role to play in making the global plan a reality. First, we call on governments to lead mobility strategies that are rooted in good data, backed by strong laws and sufficient funds, and that include all sectors of society. Second, we call for young people to be included in decision-making and to raise their voices for safer roads. Third, we call on academia and civil society to generate evidence and hold leaders to account. And fourth, we call on businesses to put safety and sustainability at the core of their value chains. Your Highness, Your Excellencies, dear colleagues and friends, in this complex and often divisive world, road safety is surely an issue that we can all rally around. It can help make people healthy, cities sustainable, and societies equitable. So let me leave you with this vision. This conference should be a fork in the road. There should be a before Marrakesh and an after Marrakesh. We know what needs to be done. The solutions are not always easy or popular, but we know they work and that they save lives and are a good long-term investment in sustainability and productivity. Together, we can work for a world in which everyone reaches their destination safely. Shukran jazilan. Merci beaucoup. I thank you, and I wish the best for the conference. And I hope this will be a game changer. That's what I believe. And shukran Morocco once more.
Director General, we thank you for that very clear call to action for